Hello, welcome to Gaming Insight Daily for Thursday, June 19th, 2025. I'm Steve Saylor. This is your daily show of gaming news, accessibility news, or updates about my life. I have a almost empty coffee on my PlayStation mug today. Reason being is that I've been trying to be able to do this video since 9 a.m. It is currently 12 p.m., so I can't even say good morning in this video. Reason being is that because there has been at least two big kind of accessibility stories that I wanted to cover that involve Steam, and I had a bit of trouble trying to be able to get something to work based on one of those the stories. I'll get to that in a minute, but I want to be able to at least start off with let's just jump right into housekeeping first, which is tomorrow, if you're watching this on Thursday, on the day of that it goes up, tomorrow, or if you're even watching this on Friday, I am currently would be streaming The Last of Us Part 2. I have not played The Last of Us Part 2 in 5 years because that was when I reviewed it last. And it's the 5th year anniversary of The Last of Us Part 2. Actually, today is technically the anniversary of The Last of Us Part 2. And I have not played the story campaign since I reviewed it back in 2020. So I wanted to jump in and try to be able to play the game once again and play the story once again, and I am going to be streaming it and not stopping the stream until the game is done. According to howlongtobeat.com, it says it's going to take about 22 and a half hours to be able to complete. I don't know how long it's going to take me. It could take me a little bit longer than that. I'm gonna because there's probably gonna be some breaks and stuff in between. I'm gonna try to be able to play the game and stop to at least be able to keep playing, keep streaming until the game is done, or I have to stop because of disability reasons. We'll see. But I'm going to try my best. It's the first time I'm ever doing a marathon stream like this, so please come on out. I'll be starting at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Steve Saylor, if you want to come and join in on that. So yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to. I hope I can get some good enough sleep tonight. Anywho, let's jump into the story because we've got two kind of big things from Steam that I want to talk about. Let's bring up caniplaythat.com. Actually, no, this is the Steam page. Caniplaythat.com has posted this morning. That Steam adds new accessibility features in beta. Steam likes to keep us on our toes as we have another bit of accessibility news. This is written by ActiveBit. This time, new features for SteamOS and Big Picture mode on desktop. The accessibility features are included in today's beta release. These include UI scaling, high contrast mode, and a reduced motion toggle. For SteamOS, which is Steam Deck and Lenovo Legion Go S, there's also a screen reader and color filter. On desktop, the new features are only available in Big Picture mode. Steam recommends screen reader users to use this mode. It has the best support for screen readers and keyboard navigation. Excuse me. All right, so let's talk about, there is a new accessibility menu. With the update, Steam includes a new accessibility section in the settings menu. Here, players find the settings to enable or adjust the new features. A big slider allows for adjusting the scale of the UI. It's hardly labeled, It's handily labeled, smaller text on the left and larger text on the right, which I actually do kind of like. I like that that's how they label it. Luckily, the scale also affects other UI elements than just text, making them not only easier to see, but also easier to control. Toggling the high contrast mode will make text, icons, and buttons more distinct from the background, enabling reduced motion, disables animations and effects to make Steam more comfortable for those prone to motion sickness. Also, users of SteamOS devices can enable a screen reader. It can also be toggled at any time by pressing the Steam and View buttons. Adjusting the volume of the screen reader is possible, of course. The rate, speed, and pitch are also adjustable. Lastly, for SteamOS, there are color filters like the color options on the Nintendo Switch. These can change the interface to grayscale or invert the colors. There's also an invert brightness option, which makes dark elements such as the background light and light elements dark. The invert brightness mode retains the original colors, making it function as a light mode for those who prefer it. Love that. And there's the kind of the on the image here, basically sliding scale of, you can see the gray mode and just invert colors mode. So that's cool. And you can actually be able to see that on the, this is actually also on the Steam, Steamworks blog, I think, or just I think it's Steamworks blog, or just the Steam blog itself. And it has all the details as ActiveBit has mentioned. And here's an example of what the UI scale would look like, and all the different color modes as well. It does say also what's next. We're continuing to work to improve the accessibility of Steam on all devices. These new settings are only the first available of the accessibility features we're working on, and we're excited to put even more tools in the hands of our players. To that end, if you are a player with disabilities, we'd love to hear from you about what Steam can do for you. Your feedback will be extremely important in determining what we focus on. To report issues or to leave suggestions for accessibility features you'd like to see, post in the feedback thread. Cool. So if you are a disabled player and you want more Steam accessibility features, definitely go to that link and to the feedback thread and let them know your thoughts. And then before we get into the actual, I'm gonna showcase actually what these new accessibility features would look like in Steam. I'm actually gonna boot up Steam Big Picture mode and take a look at that in a minute. But I wanted to be able to go over another thing that we talked about this in a recent video not too long ago. But we were waiting for an update as to when it was going to go officially live for users. In that, the Steam users can now search by accessibility tags. If you remember, we talked about Steam allowing developers to be able to label their games with accessibility tags, similar to the Accessible Tags initiative created by the ESA in cooperation with Nintendo, Google, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and I'm blanking on another one, maybe. No, or maybe that might be it. Oh, EA as well. So basically, the developers were able to go into their Steam storefront page and be able to go through basically a kind of a step-by-step guide on basically how to label their games with accessibility, and including descriptions of what those tags would mean and what tags would be needed, or what you need to do in order to be able to enable those tags. So yes, the tags are self-policing. It is not, Steam isn't going into every single game to be able to ensure that every game is labeled correctly. It is up to the developers to do it. So if you do know a developer that does have either accessibility features in their games that they don't have accessibility tags, and it's your favorite game, or you like the developer, reach out to them to make sure that, hey, you have these new tags available, but you need to be able to include them, or be able to go in and update them on your Steam page. So just because there's going to be probably a lot of games that do not have that yet. So we're gonna need the community to be able to kind of help out with that. But now it is available. You can be able to search by accessibility tags. Steam users can now use accessibility tags to find games on Steam. ActiveBit actually did first report about this back in April, and same with me as well. Actually, I think I probably pulled even Active's article from this as well. Then they were only available to developers, with a rollout to users planned later in the year. Apparently, later in the year is now, as the tags now appear in the search filter and on games store pages. Now, this isn't necessarily fully news. This is a news story from last week, so I'm just kind of including it today. While searching games on Steam, there is a new section that filters, allowing users to narrow their search in between narrow by controller support and narrow by deck compatibility. We find narrow by accessibility feature. The section can be collapsed, but it seems to be expanded by default on the search page, which helps people find these filters. Currently, there are 16 accessibility features in the categories gameplay, visual, audio, and input. On the store page for games, any applied accessibility tags are visible below the other features like play modes and controller support. On this page, the accessibility features are collapsed with a number between brackets showing how many features are tagged for the game. When click the link or click the list for expands, revealing the accessibility features by category. This is great news with caveats. It's great to see Steam moving fast on implementing this feature, seeing how many games already have accessibility features tagged, including a desire from developers and publishers to share this information. My only concern, actually this is also my concern as well, is still the fragmentation of tags and the criteria, which is something the Accessible Games Initiative aims to solve, but Steam is not a member of. All of Steam's tags could be covered by existing tags from the AGI. How weirdly, Steam decided to place chat text-to-speech and speech-to-text options under input. It also mistakenly places playable without timed input under audio in search, but not the Storm page. Yeah, so that is true. They're not covering all of the tags from the AGI, and also they kind of they didn't word it the same way as the AGI currently sits right now, which right now is not necessarily a huge problem, but it could be down the road if AGI updates their tags to be a little bit more either accurate or updates based on new industry kind of norms or anything like that. And then it's Steam may not update those at the same time. Now we start to diverge a little bit, and then the idea of universal tagging system for accessibility kind of goes by the wayside if Steam is doing their own thing and the AGI is doing something completely different. That kind of removes the need it kind of makes the universal tag system even worse. All right, but let us jump into the Steam, and we're going to check out some of the accessibility new features and see how they look. So we're going to jump into this, and I have to disable my window capture so I can be able to bring up. There we go. This is my Steam. I'm going to switch over to this is on my gaming PC, by the way, the one that's always kind of sitting back here. The only thing that kind of sucks is about the Steam is that this only works in big picture mode. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more of care into the main Steam storefront. I mean, you get to see some of the games I'm playing right, like I have purchased or my Steam library, but like I would love to have been able to see like a larger UI for the main Steam interface instead of just in big picture mode. But the good thing is that the Steam does allow you to boot into big picture mode if you want to do that instead of the regular Steam interface on PC. So we're just going to jump into that right now. Sorry, I had to turn off. I forgot about that. That's gonna be copyrighted. It's The Last of Us, the boot up sound for it. So anyway, all right. Actually, I do have one of the options already enabled, and that's high contrast mode. You can actually see it now in this because the background used to be kind of a light blue, but now it's basically all black, which basically puts the text at full white to be able to make it more to make it stand out a little bit more. So that's kind of one preview feature. I was kind of playing around making sure that everything worked. That's why you're not seeing my initial reaction to seeing it live. But basically, if you go into the settings and you go into, there's now a new accessibility menu, and you can be able to see I have high contrast mode on, but if I turn it off and then I go back, home, there we go. You can see now that the background has changed again, or basically a little bit more. It's back to kind of the way the big picture modes has always looked. But again, if I go back to the settings and I go to accessibility and I turn high contrast mode on, and then I go back home, you can see that now that background is basically just all black. It makes things stand out a little bit more. Because let me see if I can be able to bring up. Let's bring up my library, see what that kind of looks like from here. Installed. You can see a bunch of all of my games that have been purchased and installed. I got a lot of them. There's a lot of games. I need to get back into a lot of games for Steam because there's quite a few on here that I'd love to be able to get back into. All right, so let's go back to the home screen and let's go back to settings. We're gonna go back to accessibility. And let's take a look at the UI scale. So it's currently, this is the default. I like that the default size is not the smallest text size. Sometimes like developers will do that, kind of saying the default size is the smallest, but I like that you can even go smaller. So let's see. If you do smallest, that's how small it can get. Wow, that actually is pretty small. But if we bring it back to normal, small, normal. Now let's see what it looks like at the max size. Oh, look at that. I do like, actually, you know what? I like that it scales. Let's see what it looks like with the main screen. Yeah, okay, so that's there. Okay, so it kind of, at the largest size, you can't really scroll. Oh, no, you can't. Okay, I have a scroll wheel on my mouse that allows me to sort of scroll in between. But I wish it had it kind of it sort of scales to yeah, it kind of scales based on your screen size. But I wish I could be able to, like, if there was like an arrow there or something like that, that'd be able to kind of allow me to scroll through. Let's go to my library real quick. Let's see if I can scroll through, see if it scales. So that, yeah, it does. It scales. That's great. Normally, whenever you have a font size this large, normally it's like you have to it'll have to it'll sort of scroll because it will kind of do this scroll animation because it couldn't be able to you couldn't be able to see the whole word or the whole interface. But I like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is fantastic. I like that everything scales. This is awesome. It scales with everything. Let's see. Let's go back to settings. Let's see, system. No. Wow. I like that. Again, normally. Oh, I guess it ties into scale and the scaling feature under display. I don't know if that's something that's been there all along or if that's now part of the UI scale, but that I like that. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. I mean, it's not my, probably my default would probably be about here. Because now that makes my PC basically kind of like in a similar screen size as my Steam Deck. But this is, again, I actually, let's see what this looks like now with sort of am I like, yeah, okay. Let's see, can you navigate with, oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can navigate via D-pad. So this, because obviously big picture mode is more designed to be able to be navigatable via controller, so that's probably why. So yeah, okay. So let's go back to the largest screen size. And let's see what that feels like with now using the keyboard scroll. So let's go back to home. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Love this. Oh, that's great. Now, I don't know what the button it is to be able to do the Steam menu. Oops, I went to oh, okay, oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so this is now the a store page. And the store page, okay, so there's a bit of like text scaling that's having issues with, but that's having some issues, but everything else is scaled. I love that. I'm trying to see if it okay, that's nice. Okay, how do I go back? Oh, it's just the internet. Okay, well that works too. I don't usually navigate this with a mouse and keyboard, so usually it's controller for me. So okay, here we go with settings. Let's go back to settings and adjust the, there's accessibility menu. Love this. I love that you're basically seeing me test this out in real time. That's cool. All right, and you can also be able to reduce motion, which I believe if you basically just go back to this, it literally just basically it just kind of removes the animation stuff. It mostly just seems like it does like a fade in effect. Yeah, because you basically can even tell. Okay, if we go back to accessibility and turn that back on, you can see, yeah, the menu just the menu just literally just appears. Whereas if you turn, where's accessibility? If you turn it back off, the default is it'll just appear from the side. So that's a nice subtle touch. Wow. Okay. I like this. I like this. This is great. So now, with this in mind, let's go to the store. And let's see if we can do a search. And basically, let's can we do, yeah, let's filter and see if we can build a filter based on accessibility. Controller support, accessibility features. Here we go. All right, we just, okay, yep. So basically, is a collapse list by default, but let's see. Okay, it has adjustable difficulty, save anytime, adjustable text size, subtitle options, color alternatives, camera comfort, custom volume control, stereo sound, surround sound, narrated game menus, playable with timed input, keyboard only, mouse only, touch only, chat speech to text, and chat text to speech. All right, so let's see. Let's see adjustable text size and narrated game menus, and see what games come up with that. Okay, obviously big first one. Last of Us Part 2 remastered and Last of Us Part 1. Love that. Days Gone. Okay. Monster Prom 4, Slay the Princess. Until Dawn has a screen as a menu reader. Does it? Let's see. I just want to see. Okay, accessibility features. Let's see what it says. Adjustable difficulty, adjustable text size, subtitle options, camera comfort, custom volume control, stereo sound, surround sound, narrated. It does have narrated game menus. And if you click on it, basically it just takes you to this page to be able to let you know which is which. Okay. I did not know that. Maybe is this the new update? Because I have not played the new. When did this come out? Oh, it came out just last October. So I wonder if this is the new. This game only supports Japanese voice for customers in Japan. Okay. Huh. I'm going to have to definitely check this out. Hey, this is the whole point of these tags. Now I can be able to see, okay, if it's got narrated menus. Now, again, this could be self-policing, so the narrated menus for Until Dawn may be difficult than different than anything else, but let's see what else we got. Let's see. I know Brock the Investigator, another a great indie game that has a ton of accessibility in there. It's $11.39 Canadian. So let's see what accessibility features. It has 13 of the 16 tags, including narrated game menus. Cool. Love to see it. Love to see it. Now let's go back. Again, Last of Us Part 1 Digital Deluxe Edition. Trying to see if there's anything else I recognize that I can be able to pull up. But there's a lot of great, there's a lot of indie games in here that I love to see that literally are just tagged with these accessibility features, just adjustable text size and narrated menus. So I like that, because now I can be able to go in and be like and see what has been actually labeled as such. And here's the thing: all these games have these tags. So the developers have done this themselves. So this is not a Steam just kind of actively going through and doing it. So these developers, it's even lists for future releases. Wait, hold on. Recall news. What is this? Okay. I don't know what this is. Explore haunted zones and the friends in this co-op horror. Grab cursed decor, sell it fast, and escape before the house eats someone again. Comes out as Q3 2025. Let's see. Accessibility features 9. Adjustable difficulty, adjustable text size, subtitle options, camera comfort, custom volume control, stereo sound, surround sound, narrated game menus, and playable without timed input. Okay. And it's an early access game. This title is not complete and may never change, get involved. Okay. Hey, I like that. It's labeled even for games that are going to be coming out soon. Even this one, Ashen Reverie. Also to be announced, Upheaval, Herdless, Daring Academy. So let's take a look at Soul Blaze. I just saw the thing for the label for that. I think it's a demo right now. Let's see what's good. Okay, actually, let's go back, and I want to take a look and see, because sometimes the demos may not have everything. Let's see, where did I see Soul Blaze demo? Here we go. It just came out. So let's take a look. Accessibility features 11 out of the 16. And it's got so adjustable difficulty, adjustable text size, color alternatives, camera comfort, custom volume controls, stereo sound, narrated game menus, playable without timed input, keyboard only option, mouse only option, and touch only option. This is great. Love it. Awesome. Very cool. Actually, let's see what Rematch has. Maybe they might have some accessibility thing, because I know that Rematch is from Sifu, and I have talked to them about accessibility before. So let's see. No, does not look like that they enabled any of their. All right. Well, okay, fine. That's okay. That's whatever. But again, what I love is that when you go through the store and you basically go through, where's the filter button? There was a filter. There we go. Filter. And you can still go in here, and it's under controller support. There we go. Oop, it was already expanded. So let's go back in here. Let's do, yeah, just adjustable text size, and let's do adjustable difficulty. Let's see what that looks like. So we got Stellar Blade, Alters. Okay, let's see what Alters has. I like the fact that they label it, because I remember playing the demo and I did not see that they had a lot of accessibility. So I'm wondering maybe that got changed for the full game. Just accessibility features, adjustable difficulty, text size, subtitle options, camera comfort, volume control, stereo sound, surround sound, and playable without timed input. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't have a screen reader or narrated menus, but it has all the other stuff, and it is playable. Sort of Steam Deck compatibility. Some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read, but they said that they have adjustable text size. Probably more for the Steam. That's the thing. Adjustable text size for Steam could basically mean that it is compatible with Steam Deck. So yeah, that's basically that's basically it for that. All right, but that's cool. That's a good exploration of the accessibility features on Steam, on at least on the PC side. But I want to be able to at least show what it could potentially look like on the Steam Deck itself. Now this was the one that took me the longest to be able to update, because I had trouble trying to be able to get my Steam Deck to update. That's not a problem. I will say this, that's not necessarily a indication of the update on Steam Deck, that it's causing problems on Steam Decks. It just meant that I haven't used my Steam Deck in a little bit, and it hasn't been updated in a minute. So wait, why did it all of a sudden just turn off? See, this is a problem I've been having the whole entire time. And now, can I get it to power on? It was charging. And now it won't turn on. Okay, but I was gonna try to be able to show at least the filters on the Steam Deck. And again, I don't want to re-record this later and see if I can get it to work. Hold on, I'll pause the recording and maybe come back in a sec. All right, I was able to bring up the accessibility menu on my Steam Deck, and you can see the same accessibility that's there, including the UI text scale. So let's take a look at that, see if I can be able to adjust that size. And you can see it is the largest text size right now. It's similar to what we saw on the PC side. So let's bring it back to about here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and then you can see that high contrast mode is on or is off. But let me go back to the home page so you can be able to see. Okay, so this is what the Steam Deck home screen normally looks like. But if I go back into the settings menu and go down all the way to accessibility, and I turn high contrast mode on, and then if I go back to the Steam home page, you can see that now the background animations or the background effects or images are turned off. So that's cool. And then also, if we go back to the accessibility menu, you can be able to set the color filters. So we'll go to grayscale, which basically puts everything into literally grayscale. But then if I go to invert colors, you can't, it's hard to see because I know the brightness of it is super high, but you can see that it's invert colors and then invert brightness, kind of put it in basically the Steam Deck into a light mode. That's available there. And if I go back to default, now here's the thing. So it has options for a enable screen reader. You can see that the screen reader is currently turned on, right? But you probably have noticed that you haven't heard a screen reader the entire time I've been sort of showing you these settings. This is kind of one of the, I think this might be a bug on my, probably on my Steam Deck that I can't seem to get to work. But the best I can be able to do, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. If I turn it off.
Screen reader on.
That's all I've been able to get it to say. Just screen reader on. Because otherwise, I mean, you can't really hear it, but you can kind of hear the interface going. There is nothing that gets read. You can adjust apparently the reader volume, the reader size, and reader pitch. But like I said, I could not get it to work on this on my personal Steam Deck. Now, this could mean several different reasons. A, it is a beta update, so it did just release as of yesterday. So there probably is potentially some bugs with it. This is the first time that they've enabled a screen reader on a Steam Deck device. So that could be the potential reason. Also, as well, this is a year one Steam Deck. So this is an older, the very first round of Steam Deck kind of devices when they first came out. So it could mean that basically that there is some hardware incompatibilities for the older Steam Decks that potentially could not work. I've also had issues with my Steam Deck where if the GPU gets like extremely hot, it will lower my frame rate down from what I try to set it as, like a cap 40 down to like 2 frames per second, which is not great. And I've heard that that's more, could potentially be a hardware issue than necessarily a software one. So there could be a lot of reasons there could be several reasons as to why the screen reader could maybe not work. Again, could be bugs, could be in my Steam Deck that's older, or it could be just be that my Steam Deck may not be working correctly as it should. But if you do have a Steam Deck and you do, if you go, in order to be able to enable it, you do have to go to your system and make sure that you are in the system update. You need to be in the beta system update channel. It's hard to see, I know, because the brightness is so high. But basically, instead of like there's 3 options you can go into: stable, beta, or preview. You need to go into the beta in order to be able to get the accessibility update. So again, this is in beta, so you do have to. So there is that caveat. It could be some bugs. If you do know some bugs, please let Steam know via their feedback forum or thread to be able to let them know what the issues that you're having. But you can be able to test it out on your own and hopefully get the screen reader to work on yours. If you do get the screen reader to work on yours, if you have a Steam Deck, I would love to be able to hear more about it. So please let me know in the comments down below. All right, that is going to be it for me for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions and you want me to check it out, please let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, thank you so much. I won't be doing an episode tomorrow because I'm going to be basically making sure I can sleep in as long as I can so I can be able to do the Last of Us marathon stream. But make sure to tune in. It's twitch.tv/Steve Saylor for the Last of Us Part 2 marathon stream. I'm going to try to stream as long as I like to basically try to play the entire game without ending stream. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. Yeah, tune in at any given time. I would stream this on YouTube as well, but unfortunately, in order to be able YouTube can only allow you to be able to stream after like 10 to 12 hours or something like that, and then it just kind of stops at least the VOD recording. So you can't really do a full anything longer than that. So that's why I have to do this on Twitch specifically. So anyway, take care. Hope to see you in chat tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye-bye.